You are about to hear a strange but true story. Legend has it, Harry Houdini, the master magician, once claimed that he could break out of any jail cell in the world. All he had to do was walk into that jail cell with his street clothes on. "I'll be out of there in 1 hour, no problem," he said. Well, a very old jail down south heard about Houdini's claims, and they accepted his challenge. On the day of the event, many people gathered outside. Very confidently, Houdini walked right into the jail and into the cell, and they shut the metal doors behind him. The first thing Houdini did was he took off his coat. Then, very strangely, he took off his belt. Secretly hidden in Houdini's belt was a 10-inch piece of steel, very tough and very flexible, and Houdini started working. In about 30 minutes, that confident expression Houdini had when he walked in disappeared. In 1 hour, he was bathed in sweat. And at the end of 2 hours, Houdini, in defeat, collapsed against the door, which then opened. It opened because, you see, that door had never been locked. But that's not entirely true, is it? That door was locked. It was firmly and thoroughly locked in Houdini's mind, which meant it was locked as if the best locksmith in the world had put his lock on it. The mind is powerful. How many doors in your life do you think are locked but aren't? How many times have you been stuck in the mental prison of overthinking something that really had a simple solution? There is an ancient African proverb that says, when there is no enemy within, the enemy outside can do us no harm. Your mind is the most powerful force you will ever face. It will tell you lies. It will tell you you can't do that. You're not meant for that. You're not good enough for that. You can't go on anymore. You don't have the energy. You must thank it for its opinion and carry on. Because like Houdini showed us, the only locked doors that exist are in your own mind. The doors in reality are open, and all you have to do is walk through.
I understand the stigma of mental illness because, it's hard to put your finger on. It's hard to relate to. I need more E-juice. So, because it's not physical, right? You can't physically see the sickness. Which is understandable, right? Completely understandable. Oh, there it is. This is what I was thinking. Sorry, I just woke up. I'm tired as fuck. Let me give you a scenario. Say your spouse is dying of cancer. Would you stay by their side, hoping they would get well, or would you leave them? If your spouse, I don't know, lost 2 legs and they're in a wheelchair, would you leave them? You know, those physical diseases, people tend to stick around. So why would it come to a mental disease that people do not? I was just thinking about that. Now, my first wife, that was with, 10, 11 years. I left her because I met my second wife, but the only reason I had left is because I believe she was mentally ill, but also believe there was a lot of things that she wasn't communicating. She wasn't being honest about what was happening with her, and she wouldn't take responsibility for it. To this day, I still have no idea what her illness was, like what was going on with her. Now, my second wife did know what was going on with me. She did know I was bipolar. I was honest about it. I didn't know how to fix it. So maybe it appeared like I wasn't trying to fix it. But she left. So my question is this. You know what? I guess you can't really be too hard on someone because that's what that person can handle, right? At the end, we have to kind of take care of ourselves. Not to be selfish, but, you still have to look after yourself at the end of the day. These videos that I do when I just wake up and I had a thought, a lot of them I don't post. Just kind of a reminder for myself, because sometimes I can't read my writing, so sometimes I'll post it, sometimes I won't. So it'd be me giving her giving me a second chance or me giving her a second chance. What a weird scenario. What do you think she was afraid of? I know she still loves me. I know she does. I know it. So what's stopping her? She's seen... She must know all the work I put into myself. She must see that. Maybe she doesn't want to see it? Very confusing. But I can't wait forever. I have to give up on her now. Right? Just like she gave up on me. I can't wait. Maybe she'll be the one that calls me 7 years later. Because that's what it was. It's been 7 years since we've been together. I called her. She didn't close the door, but then she didn't open it either. Very strange. I talked to a friend about that, and I asked my friend for advice, and she said it was because she doesn't know what she wants. She's very unsure. So she doesn't want to open it, and she doesn't want to close it, which makes a lot of sense. But what would be nice is to be told that. Is to be told, listen, Scott, I don't know how I feel, but I know I feel something. And I'm torn. Why not communicate that? Why not share those thoughts? Why wouldn't you share that? You're not losing anything by sharing that. Why wouldn't you share that with me? Why, if you show that you're lost and confused, it makes you weak? Are you afraid that I will see you as weak? I wonder if she's been with someone since we've been apart. And if she was, I wonder how it worked out. I know it's never worked out for me. Obviously, I shared that video with you guys, explaining all of that. It's hard to so hard when you don't have the answers. When it comes to someone you have emotional connection with, that's hard when you don't have those answers. I don't give a fuck if I don't have answers about the universe or anything else like that. Why? Because I don't give a fuck. Give a fuck about her, right? I'm trying to put myself in her position. But I'm also thinking maybe something happened since we haven't been together. It has nothing to do with me. Maybe something happened. Because I don't know. I have no idea. No one tells me shit. But it's not, if nothing did, like, maybe something must have happened. Where's the anger and the hate coming from? Where's it coming from? She knows I was sick. How much responsibility do I have to take for what happened? How much is it my fault? How much is it the illness's fault? Well, I know I have to be accountable for my actions. But were those actions my fault? That's the question. Does she even believe that mental illness and bipolar is real? She must. If you don't believe it's real, then what? You think I faked it? The psychiatrist misdiagnosed me? This is very, very strange what I feel. It's weird though, because even if nothing develops, I'm okay with it. My life will go on. But why not talk? Why not communicate anything? I should say not why not communicate anything. She did communicate. But like I said, she didn't open the door and she didn't close it. Now, would I still feel this way if I met somebody? Would I always wonder about it? What if I was with somebody and she called me out of the blue? How would I react to that? How would I react? Whew. I guess that would depend on how serious I was with another woman. But for me though, if I'm with a woman, I'm serious right off the bat. I already know that. God, I really hope I don't have to face that decision, I tell you. Because I don't know what I would do. But what I can tell you is this. The more that time goes on, the greater my expectations will be of her, though. That I know. You want to come to me now, as you are. We can start the journey together. We can heal together. But if you come as you are, 5 years from now to me, no. You better have your shit together. You better look fucking mint. You better, you can't have any faults. I can accept your faults right now. 5 years from now, I don't think I could accept your faults. I don't think I'd want to work out your issues. Help you work out your issues. So then maybe the choice wouldn't be hard. It'd be hard if you came at me in 5 years with your shit together. That'd be tough. Oh, okay, that's enough. I'll turn this off. Ugh. Let go, lie back down. Alright, so let's break this down some more. So, why is it so hard for people to communicate? Why is it so fucking hard? for either one of them. Let's take my first wife. Like, see, I don't know why, but you know when you get that, you don't know something for sure, but it's like a sixth sense, you know? I always just like you guys obviously know, the role that drugs played in my life, right? And I got a lot of flack about that, right? Especially for the first wife. You're an addict, you're a cokehead, you're this, you're that, you know. But when I look back at it, I could have swear she was on drugs. I could swear she was. When I look back, I was so non-perceptive back then. You know, all my focus and concentration was on work, right, and my own problems. But when I'm looking back at it, with her, there were so many signs that she was using drugs. I'm thinking opioids is what I'm thinking. Excuse me. But it's a slippery slope, right? See, when I say a statement like that, I want to be real. I want to make sure that I'm not seeing something and saying something that I want to believe, something that's not necessarily true. You know, it'd make it so much easier if she was hiding something, right? But you want to try and be truthful to yourself about, okay, what was I actually seeing? And then let's, like, for example, when she used to get ready for work, she'd get all dolled up, and there was always this real calm, confident look about her right before work. Always, she had that same kind of a look. It just she was very posturatic, you know, like, I don't know if that's the right word, but she was, you know, head up, posture perfect. You know, she was a beautiful woman. She was in great shape. But when she came to get ready for work, in case some of you who watch this, you don't know, she was an escort. And yes, as well, I was okay with that because the person I was back then, our relationship back then was mostly built on loyalty, not passion and love. You know, so it worked. And it worked for, it was very good for a very long time, you know, but anyways, back to what I was saying, like, looking at these signs, and then there'd be days, you know, she'd lock herself in the bedroom, and all she'd do was read, and then there'd be days of extreme anxiety, like fucking temper tantrums like you wouldn't fucking believe. Like, I mean, serious fucking just anger issues, hating the fucking world, hating me, you know. So if she had a mental illness, I could see the depression and the anxiety part of it. It's that in-between part where she had right before work, right? The way she held herself, the way she spoke. It was night and day. So would it make sense that the reason she wouldn't tell me her issues, she had a drug problem herself and was hiding it? Does that make sense? Because I never hid nothing. My life was an open fucking book, even when I fucked up. I was like, fucked up, this is what I did, you know. I was always very honest about who I was, believe me. You know, sometimes maybe that was a good thing, maybe sometimes it was a bad thing, but I owned my shit. I never hid nothing. you know. So that's what I'm asking myself, like, do you think it makes a lot of sense if she had a drug problem and she didn't want to admit to it because she was too busy slamming me for my drug issues, right? That brings me to my second wife. Why is she not talking? Why is she not communicating? And I had my suspicions of her using drugs as well. Now when we were together, I believe she only used drugs when she was with me. To this day, I still believe that. Now, is it possible that she was using drugs and not telling me? Then after we split up, she continued to use drugs? Because here's the weird thing. It wasn't like when we broke up. Say, when me and my wife first broke up, we broke up. You know, the only time I seen her was to give her money every month just to help her out. You know, because I felt really fucking bad. But as time went on, I quickly realized there was something more going on with her, so I stopped doing the money. But also my second wife, was giving me pressure to stop giving her money. And she said she was manipulating me, so I knew something was off. So I stopped giving her money. But with my second wife, we were still seeing each other after we split up. Now, I asked her why, later on, why she was doing that. And she said she was doing it to let me down easy. That's what she said. I continued to see you to let you down easy. To let me down easy. In what way? Well, if you guys were afraid that I was going to kill myself due to my mental illness, or I wasn't going to do very good, so you're trying to... Then, if you're saying that means you believe that I was bipolar. You do believe that I was sick. But if you lied about continuing to see me, it was because you still loved me, and I don't know. I was always just like, it was just off and on all the time. It was like fucking hot, cold, hot, cold. People and their fucking secrets, right? People just communicated and make things so much easier. See, I can understand why you don't want to be open and honest and communicate with a stranger, maybe at work or somebody you don't know very well. But when it comes to someone you've been intimate with and lived with, you already know all their imperfections, so why not continue to be honest? Like, See, the only reason I'm thinking is someone would keep a secret is because they're afraid of how you're going to react. So if they're afraid about how you're going to react, it most likely would mean that it would make them look weak or bad, or so it only makes sense that if they had a drug problem, by not admitting that to me, they would look like a hypocrite, or they would look definitely less valued because they were slamming me for my drug problem. But at the same time, maybe she had one as well. When I got out of the hospital, I was so fucked up. You know, I had serious trauma from the accident. I was on these psych meds, and there was a lot going on, and try to go back to school. It's all on videos there, every step of the way, but I'm not going to rehash it. It was really tough. But I called her. I said, listen, can I come see you and the puppy, She said, yeah. Went to see her. It was great to see her. We went to Toronto, kind of Wonderland together. Had a good time. Things in her household, she had roommates. Things were fucking crazy insanity there. The roommates was always arguing. There was always something bullshit happening there. Why? And then one roommate left, and then I moved in. So I'm taking it as a sign, like, good friends. Maybe we can eventually build off this, and end up back together. And she had said that she still cared for me, but we weren't getting back together, but she still had feelings and she still cared for me. Then I moved in. We weren't sleeping together. It was strictly platonic. And then things got fucking crazy again. Like, she wouldn't talk. She was fucking moody, hot and cold. It makes sense. Like, why not communicate? So that leaves us to our earlier part of this video. Like, why not communicate? Is your life so fucking shitty right now? Maybe the tide has turned. Maybe I'm the one that's got my shit together and you don't. Maybe you got all these fucking issues. Maybe you're pissed off about that. But if you were using drugs or had a drug problem, I can totally see how that you wouldn't want to. I can see the reaction that she's having. Like, why not just say, fuck you, I don't love you, don't ever call me again? Why not just say that? Wouldn't that make things a lot easier? I know for myself, if I had an ex-girlfriend that called me, and for whatever reason she needed closure on something, and she said, would you mind if I asked you some questions about our past? And stuff like that. Well, of course I would answer it. Of course it would. Just because it didn't work out between us doesn't mean I can't stop being a good human being, right? I think things would be a lot easier if I wasn't as open as I am. Because then maybe I would understand where they're coming from a little more. Because they both weren't very open people. They were both very private. Very private. Even private for me, maybe. I don't remember them discussing their feelings very often. It was always just about expressing their anger. Now, maybe some of you watching this may think, well, Scotty, what the fuck you worry about all this shit for? Like, don't even fucking think twice about it. They don't want to fucking talk. They don't want to be open. Fucking forget about it. And you're right. You're absolutely right. And that's exactly the position I'm taking. I'm just kind of like, I don't know, just talking. I'm just talking. I'm fine with not knowing anything. I am fine with that. But I think it's good practice for me to do these sort of exercises. It'd be easy to just dismiss it and just like, whatever, you want to talk to me? You don't want to fucking tell me? Fine, fuck you then. But I don't learn anything doing that, right? I don't fucking learn anything about myself doing that, having that attitude. How is that going to help me down the line with somebody else if I have that attitude, right? It's not going to help me. If I meet someone again and they're kind of closed like they were, I'll recognize the signs and I'll press them for information. No, you're going to tell me what you're thinking. You're going to tell me how you're feeling. You're going to be honest about what your problems are and your issues are. You're not going to hide fucking shit. Because if you hide shit, eventually it won't work out anyways. So you might as well fucking tell me now and save us both a lot of time. Either we can work through it or we can't. You hiding it's not helping anybody. Whatever your issue is. Right? Fucking makes sense. Oh, our relationship's even worth all this fucking thought. Jesus fucking Christ. Just seems like a waste of fucking brain power. But we can't have that attitude, right? If you plan to meet someone, if you want to be alone for the rest of your life and say fuck the world, I guess you can have that attitude. Oh, I'm going to share a funny story. I used to, my second wife first left me. I love to get fucked up and then go on those dating sites, right? I was still pretty new to the deal, so, it was hard to weed out, the cam girls and the escorts and the prostitutes. It was always, you didn't know who the fuck you were talking to half the time, right? And I'd get all excited about talking to one, she'd be all into it, and next thing you know, credit card number, it was so frustrating. But at the same time, because I was so sick and so manic at the time, I was just like, it didn't matter. I'd go with it and fucking do a lot of stupid shit. And, so anyways, I was talking to one of my gym brothers, and he met a really nice girl. I met her. She's really sweet. And, from what he tells me, she's really taking care of him. I says, how'd you meet her? He goes, Tinder. I says, another one from Tinder? I'm like, you hear all these people meet people online, but when I go online, no. It's always fucking bullshit. So I said, okay, well, you know what? I'm a different man now, and let's try it. Let's fucking try Tinder, right? So last night, well, actually, you know what? I actually downloaded the app fucking probably a few months ago, but I never signed up. I just got the icon on my phone. And so last night I signed up. And then, of course, I started talking to this girl. And sure enough, turns out to be just fucking bullshit to bring me to a campsite and just like, fuck. Really? You know? Really? Well, what do you expect? She was 23. And you say to me, like, well, what are you doing, fucking 23-year-olds? Ever look at the women that are my age? Pretty hard to find a woman who's 50 years old that fucking looks good. You know? No offense, women, but you guys definitely age differently than we do. I think women are definitely more sensitive to what they put in their body than men are. You know, I think men can put a lot of more toxic stuff in their body, and I think the body absorbs a lot better. But with women, smoking, drinking, sun, I think that stuff really ages a woman quick. You know, I think it does. I think it does. Not every woman, of course. There's always exceptions. I'm sure there's tons of 50-year-olds there that are hot, but I don't come across them, at least not in my world. So back, you know, what I was saying about, you know, the title of this video, like, this should be so much easier if people communicate. Fuck, I hate the way people talk. Talking code, talking broken fucking English, sarcasm. Is it that hard to be straight, direct? Why is that so fucking difficult for people to do? Especially someone you've been involved with. Like, what the fuck are you afraid of? Me saying, I told you so, or me sticking it back to you? Like, I'm the one fucking reaching out to you, remember? Or you know what? And I ask myself this too. You know how when you first meet somebody, there's no better feeling, right? When you first meet somebody. And the passion's there, when it's someone you connect with, fucking everything's firing on all cylinders, you guys are laughing and in love, and sparks are there, and all this great stuff. You're talking about the future, you know, and somewhere along the way, it changes. And it just seems that there's this line, like there's this invisible line in a relationship where you can never go back across. Like, once you cross it together as a couple for whatever reason, and whoever's at fault, well, maybe someone lied, maybe someone cheated, maybe something happened, but once something someone has done to break some trust, once that line has been crossed, once that line has been crossed, it changes forever, doesn't it? It changes forever. Whether you go on in a relationship for another 10, 15 years with that person, it's still never the same as before. Like, after that line, it's never the same. But there are people that have gotten back together, got married a second time or a third time, renewed their vows, or it has happened. People are so easily damaged, right? See, but the difference is, yes, we all get damaged, but I think what it comes down to is, number one, no one wants to admit that they're damaged. Number two, they don't want to fix it or deal with it and get past it. It's almost like an addiction. They want to feel miserable. They don't want to trust people again. They don't want to. I wasn't like that at all. I was like, oh, I don't want to feel like this anymore. I don't want to be pissed off anymore. How do I fix this? How do I turn this around? How do I fucking get back on the positive track? How do I trust someone again? How do I love someone again? What do I have to do to fix myself? People don't want to fix themselves. They don't. Even when I was fucked up, real sick, fucking drugs, whatever, I was still always trying to figure out how to fucking fix things. It was always in my mind, how do I fix this? How do I fix this? How do I fix this? People will fucking seem to care about everything else except for themselves. Like, why do people neglect themselves so much? Whether it's their mental health or their body. Why do we do that? Well, Fuck, I just realized I'm doing this video on the fucking shitter here. I gotta watch the whole thing and edit out the stuff that you may have heard me pooping. Oh, for fuck's sakes. This fucking people frustrate me so much. No, it's not a fair statement. Just, I know some people that are pretty fucking straight. But it's true. Once there's any kind of deceit or in a relationship, whether even like a friendship, once something happens, there's this line. For you, it might be this. For me, it's that. But once this line is crossed, everything changes, right? And you never fucking get it back. That's true, right? That's really fucking true. Why isn't it like that for me? Why isn't it like that for me? I don't know why it's not like that for me. I have no idea. I can trust someone again. I could love someone again. I could... Am I an exception to the rule? I don't know. But it's never complicated when you first meet the person, right? Both of you don't have a fucking care in the world in the beginning, even as friends. Like, unless they're not being honest about it and they're just faking it. It is until you get to know them that their true colors start coming through, that they have trust issues, to have these issues. Maybe that's it too, and we just get wrapped up in lust. It could be that too, right? How would we know? All of a sudden your friend starts acting a certain way, or your girlfriend starts acting a certain way, and you're left thinking, did I do something? You're left thinking that it's your fault that that person's changed, but the problem always been there. That could definitely be something that happens too. If you have issues, then what the fuck are you doing in a relationship? Why don't you be responsible? Well, maybe like the same reason a guy takes promotion when he knows he can't do the fucking job properly. Sorry, I had to throw that in there. It's so true, though. It's so fucking true. Yeah, I'll take the promotion. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. Yeah, I'll get in a relationship with this guy. I don't have trust issues. Meanwhile, the whole time that they do. I don't know. Like I say, guys, I'm just fucking talking here. I'm just talking. I'm talking out loud and filming. Okay, my legs are asleep now. Well, at least this one is. To see you guys again. Take care of yourselves, take care of each other. God bless you all. Yes, I'm covering up this time. This episode was brought to you by Six Store, guaranteed to make you big as fuck! And special thanks to Working Hands. It's the shit!